The Urantia book. So, topic. I don't know. There's 4 parts, so different parts for different things. I mean, there's 4 parts, so I would like maybe pick something from each of them. So, paper 168 is the resurrection of Lazarus. So, meeting of the Sanhedrin. I'm just going to pick paragraphs, share something, say something. Meeting of the time and again had this august body of Jewish leaders decreed that Jesus be apprehended and brought to trial on charges of blasphemy and numerous other accusations of flouting the Jewish sacred law. They had once before even gone so far as to declare he should die, but this was the first time the Sanhedrin had gone on record as desiring to decree his death in advance of a trial. But this resolution did not come to a vote since 14 members of the Sanhedrin resigned in a body. Okay, well, I mean, these are the details of what's going on in terms of Jesus's life, his entire public mission. This has to be leading up to the crucifixion, paper 168. Let me see, table of contents. So then, there's like last teaching of Pella, P-E-L-L-A, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know. Here's something. I'm on, the kingdom of heaven. So like the actual words of Jesus, in terms of speeches and things of this nature. So let's see. I sometimes they paraphrase it, and sometimes they give actual quotes. Of course, actual quotes are probably a little more interesting, than the paraphrase stuff, but it's all really good. Let me see. Well, they're really paraphrasing here in this paper 170, so I'll just go with something. Jesus teaching about the kingdom. Jesus never gave a precise definition of the kingdom. At one time, he would discourse on one phase of the kingdom, and at another time, he would discuss a different aspect of the brotherhood of God's reign in the hearts of men. In the course of this Sabbath afternoon's sermon, Jesus noted no less than 5 phases or epochs of the kingdom, and they were 5 phases. Okay. 5 phases. Well, on this occasion, this is how he put it, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the prospect of the more perfect fulfillment of the will of God, the advance toward the dawn of a new social order in connection with improved spiritual living, the next age of man. 5 is 5. So, the paraphrase is not as interesting. What can I say? The gospel of Jesus of Nazareth is the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. That's the official gospel. But what does that mean? I mean, God is everyone's father. The best concept that a mortal can come up with is God as a father. And then everyone, including the second person of deity, the second person of the Trinity, is a son of God, and so is everyone else. So, I translate it personally as the will of God, trying to concentrate on the will of God, the will of the personal moral God, and service to others, whatever that might mean. And that can mean virtually anything, but being active. I think the main thing to me to service to others is get out and get as active as possible. Be interested in doing things, whatever they might be. And, work, play, social, an occasion of some kind, go. Get up, get away from where I live, what I'm doing, watching television, get out and be amongst people in whatever setting it might be, period. I mean, that to me is what service is about, is getting as active as possible. Whatever interests me or you in any given moment in terms of activity. And obviously everyone is drawn to something different, right? Or just drawn to something. Some people like, this way of getting involved with the world and society. Some people like this way. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. But the emphasis is on getting out, getting active. So that to me is important, real important. Getting as involved and as active as possible. Downtime, sleep time. Downtime, sleep time, meditation time, alone time, time away from things is also important, but that's not what's to be looked for in terms of service to others. What's to be looked for is to find the energy, the vitality, make my own life arranged mentally, emotionally, morally, make my own life arranged so that I have as much energy as possible to be as active as possible. Don't do things that cause guilt. That would be ACIM. Don't do anything that causes guilt, period. ACIM. If you want to play in that, you're not going to have good energy, period. Anyway, and I could read ACIM and share on it as easily as this. This one is better. This book is better, but ACIM is great information, well worth taking in, and really any new age channeled work. They all have something worthwhile in them. But right now this is the Urantia book, which I consider the best book available in terms of the information that's given, and it is. It's an extremely well done book in every way. Anyway, I don't know. So I would go to different parts of the book. There's 4 parts of the book. So, whenever I did one of these little things, why not go to each part, just kind of skip around? I mean, I can. I mean, I know the book very, very well. I can just kind of skip. I can read any paragraph in here and make a comment about it. It might not relate so much to what I was talking about a minute before, but so what? The important thing is to get to know this book really thoroughly, familiarly. Anyway. All right. But every time I flip in the actual book itself, I keep going to stuff that's already been flipped to before that I talked about. I guess, books get worn, right? I don't know, worn in a certain way. Okay, well, here's the wisdom of delay is what I'm looking at. One of the many reasons known to me as to why Lucifer and his confederates, that's the word they chose, confederates, were not sooner interned or adjudicated, I am permitted to recite the following. 1, mercy requires that every wrongdoer have sufficient time in which to formulate a deliberate and fully chosen attitude regarding his evil thoughts and sinful acts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 is, well, let me try and comment. I don't know. 5, regardless of Michael's attitude toward Lucifer, notwithstanding his being Lucifer's creator father, it was not in the province of the creator son to exercise summary jurisdiction over the apostate system sovereign, because he had not then completed his bestowal career, thereby attaining unqualified sovereignty of Nebadon. So this book is about certain topics and certain things that this book says. It's a belief system. It's a faith system, and for me, obviously, I do believe virtually all of it. It's very well written, but so Michael is the name of the Michael is the name of the universal ruler of this particular universe in one of his systems. And this world is in one of those systems. This evolutionary world, one of those systems. The spirit ruler of that system was Lucifer, and that's the name given, right? And so Michael of Nebadon is the creator of Lucifer. Michael of Nebadon bestowed himself on this world as Jesus of Nazareth. So, but anyway, the point of what I read, what I'm just trying to explain a little bit about what I read. Michael of Nebadon, as a universal ruler, could not automatically end Lucifer's rebellion because he did not have sovereign power in the universe of his own making yet. He had not done 7 bestowals. This is how the Urantia book lays it out. That Michael of Nebadon has to do 7 bestowals before he's given sovereign power in his universe. So it was not in the province of the Creator Son to exercise summary jurisdiction yet. So, okay, what's that got to do with it? Many reasons why do I. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why Lucifer was allowed to do what he did. There's a line in here about had they quickly stopped the rebellion, many more beings would have gone into rebellion. And to go into rebellion means that you're facing the reality of no longer existing as a being. There's no hell, but you can no longer be as if you had not been. Your personality can be completely eliminated. That's the real end in terms of how it can go. You can either, like you, anyone can go from here to the next world, some kind of spirit form of some kind, move along, and the plan is to, eventually meet God the Father on paradise at the center of all of creation, and then continue on from there as a spirit being of some kind. That's the plan. But either that or a being is simply eliminated as a being by the ancients of days, the super universe rulers, the higher spirits in charge, the hierarchy, however you want to put it, can simply vanish, however you want to put it, vanish. They use the word dissolution, I think, more than once in here. And a being no longer exists as that being. That is a choice for every person, every lower spirit, and mid-range spirits like Lucifer and Satan. Anyway, the issues of rebellion have been raised. Paradise Emergency. All right, the issues of rebellion having been raised, Paradise Emergency advisor of Gabriel portrayed that if such full and free opportunity were not given all Nurlashida creatures, then would the Paradise quarantine against all such possible half-hearted or doubt-stricken creatures be extended in self-protection against the entire constellation. This whole system was put in isolation because of the Lucifer rebellion. The little thing that I'm looking for isn't here per se. It could be. Damn it. Okay, here it is. Number 11. They advised Gabriel that at least 3 times the number of beings would be led astray if arbitrary or summary methods of suppression were attempted. So they say in here also that should another system rebellion happen, Michael of Nebadon would go about it the same way, that he wouldn't exercise his sovereign authority and end it immediately. That's I guess that's debatable. I don't know. But the point to that is, like, let's say another system went into rebellion. Michael of Nebadon is now a sovereign. He would let it play out in some sense, probably because of the same thing that happened in this system. That all right, let me read it from the beginning. An emergency council of ex-mortals consisting of mighty messengers, glorified mortals who had personal experience with like situations, together with their colleagues, was organized on Jerusalem. So ex-mortals, a level of sonship, an order of sonship. Mortals are an order of sonship. Next one up is seraphim, generally who man sees as angels. That would be the next level up. Seraphim is the general term in this book for them. level. As far as authority, ability, things of this nature, it's just, there are many different levels of authority and ability in terms of spirit beings, from high to low. But so in this order of sonship, the mortals, which is an evolutionary planet, and we're on one, and I'm one, you're one. So ex-mortals, consisting of mighty messengers and some of their unnamed colleagues, they advised Gabriel that at least 3 times the number of beings would be led astray if the Lucifer rebellion was just simply squashed, which it could have been. So, the goal is to have as many humans as possible go on for eternity, whatever eternity is. At least the next outer space level we know for sure is coming. And, I can conjecture about what I believe eternity is. Doesn't matter. There's hundreds of billions of years in front of everyone, at least, and probably much more, whatever the number is, doesn't matter. But the goal is to have every single human being go on to become a finaliter, which is achieving God the Father, meeting God the Father, and going on to the next outer space level to raise a whole new group of mortals. There's sentences in here about, the next outer space level, how tremendously large it is compared to this outer space level, which is tremendously large. And then there's a third and a fourth outer space level that they get into. So, in terms of numbers and numbers of beings, I mean, it gets unbelievably massive, really unbelievably massive. I mean, there's a lot of information about that, whatever. Okay, so that's the local universe. So the first part of the book is first part of the book is the central and divine universe. What do we got here? What's 26? Ministering spirits of the central universe. Paper 26. Part 10. I'll call, inside of one paper, I would say I'm going to use the term parts to describe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever the number of parts is. And then paragraph number, because sections would be describing the 4 sections of the book itself. Central and Super Universe 1, Local Universe 2, This Planet number 3, Life of Jesus number 4. I'm not using the exact terms that the Urantia book uses to give a title to those 4 sections, but those are the 4 sections. So in this paper, part 10, paragraph 5, for the successful pilgrims of the Second Circuit, the stimulus of evolutionary uncertainty is over, but the adventure of the eternal assignment has not yet begun. And while the sojourn on this circle is wholly pleasurable and highly profitable, it lacks some of the anticipative enthusiasm of the former circles. Oh, I can only imagine what they're talking about in here. So part 10 is saying the counselors and advisors, the attainment of paradise entails responsibilities of a new and higher order, and the sojourn on the second circle. The second circle. They've got to be talking about the second circle around paradise, which would be the sun's spheres, but no one goes to the sun's spheres. Second circuit. All right, I got to go there. 2610, 2610, 295 maybe on page 295. Let me see. The third circle of Havona. Okay, so we're definitely talking about the second circle of Havona outside of the planets. The three circuits or circles around paradise itself. The Father would have the first circuit, the Son would have the second, the Spirit would have the third, the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh would be the avonospheres, but that would be like 7, 6, 5, 4 or 4, 3, 2, 1. The last circuit would be number 4 as far as the total number of circuits around paradise. Does that make sense? It does, I think. Damn it. Well, okay. First circle, fourth circuit. Let me see if I can find it. Circuit. Oh, man. I'm going to look up circle. Try to get something in 26 here. I want them to tell me, name them specifically. Time is of little consequence on the Havona circles. In a limited manner, it enters into the possibilities of advancement. Seventh circuit spirit. 291.5. Let me see. The seventh circle of Havona worlds. You know what? Is there 7 circles of Havona worlds and then the 3? I think there is. Oh, there is. I know there is. I mean, there's a billion perfect spheres in paradise. So it makes sense that there's at least 7 circles for, a billion perfect spheres in Havona. So it makes sense that there's 7 circles for them. And then the other 3 are inner circles. You know where I can find that? At Paradise. The paper on Paradise. Oh, boy. Okay. The Eternal Isle of Paradise, 118. Okay. Upper Paradise, Nether Paradise. Come on. Universe of universes. Okay. Havona, the central universe. At the center of Havona is the stationary paradise, surrounded by its 21 satellites. The Paradise Havona system, the eternal universe encircling the eternal isle, all 7 of the super universes in all regions of outer space revolve in established order. Seriously? Wow. All right, I need more about Havona, the sacred spheres of paradise. So that's the Father's worlds, the Son's worlds, and the Spirit worlds, central and divine universe. Okay, from the periphery of paradise to the inner borders of the 7 superuniverses, there are the following again. Finally, the billion worlds of Havona are arranged in 7 concentric circuits immediately surrounding the 3 circuits of paradise satellites. Okay, so now if we're back in 26, talking about ministering something, something, something. What was that? Maybe 345? No. Let me see, 26. So, just to grab a sentence anywhere like I was doing. The 4th Havona circuit is sometimes called the Circuit of the Suns. From the worlds of this circuit, the ascending pilgrims go to paradise to achieve an understanding contact with the eternal sun. While in the worlds of this circuit, the descending pilgrims achieve a new comprehension of the nature and mission of the creator suns of time and space. There are 7 worlds in this circuit on which the reserve corps of the Paradise Michaels maintain special service schools of mutual ministry to both the ascending and descending pilgrims. Hmm. 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, the Sun Finder. So the 4th circuit of Havona, there's 3 more circuits going in Havona. Got 3 more circuits that you have to go through before you get to the 3 circuits around paradise. But they still call it the Sun Finders. Understanding, achieving an understanding content. Here you learn how to realize an understanding contact with the eternal sun. So they don't go immediately to paradise and do that. There's 3 more circuits left, but that's how they're putting it. The 4th circuit. So the 5th, 3rd. Okay. Father guides would be 3rd circle. Okay. Counselors and advisors, 2nd circle. I think I read something from there. Now we're in the 2nd circle of Havona. And you got to visit all billion of these spheres too before you get to paradise and meet God. The compliments of rest. On the last circuit, much of an ascender's time on the last circuit is devoted to a continuation of the study of the impending problems of paradise residence. A vast and diverse host of beings, the majority unrevealed, are permanent and transient residents of the inner ring of Havona worlds. On the innermost circuit, both the ascending and the descending pilgrims fraternize with each other and with the creature trinitized suns. So, just to get to the end of this thing a little bit. And now at the culmination of the Havona career, as you mortals go to sleep on the pilot world of the inner circuit, you go not alone to your rest as you did on the worlds of your origin when you closed your eyes in a natural sleep of mortal death. Now as you prepare for the attainment rest, so there's a spirit being who prepares to enter the rest as one with you, as the pledge of Havona that your transition is complete, that you await only the final touches of perfection. So this becoming perfect thing goes all the way until you actually achieve paradise, even through Havona. They're working on this perfection thing, whatever it is. All right. That's the path. See, it's very detailed. The path through Havona to paradise. They talk about the 3 rings directly around paradise extensively. I'm not going to get into it now. That's the goal, is to achieve God the Father, meet God the Father, meet God the Son, meet God the Spirit, and then go on from there as a spirit being, a perfected spirit being, And even then, they talk about, finaliters or something like sixth level evolved spirit beings versus seventh level evolved spirit beings. Seventh level comes later, after the settlement of the grand universe, enlightened life, things like that. They start to talk about things like that. I'm not going to try to go there, but that's the plan.